A mother and daughter bludgeoned to death in Hartford County. It's been nearly 30 years since someone went into a home in Aberdeen and beat two women in cold blood. WMAR 2 News' Skylar Henry spoke with both the lead detective and a daughter, hoping to find out who killed her mom and grandmother in this latest Maryland mystery.
It was Game 3. The Oakland A's were up 2 games against the San Francisco Giants in the 1989 World Series when an earthquake shook the stadium minutes before players took the field. Across the country, during that exact same time, Ann First was saying goodbye to her husband, Rudolph, who died the day before after a bout with cancer. She and her family hosted a wake in Churchville.
Probably spent about an hour, hour and a half, so like 10:30, everybody kind of remembers. They left to go back from Churchville to Aberdeen. So they drove from Churchville to Aberdeen. We're guessing about a half hour kind of transfers to get them there. Pull in and begin their nighttime ritual to get ready.
Hartford County Sheriff's Detective Tammy Burns says Ann and her daughter Helen were in the family's Maxer Road home in for the night. Rudolph's funeral was in the morning, and so Ann went to bed, as Helen stayed up to watch some TV and enjoy a nightcap. Then suddenly, a brick came flying through the back door.
So either it was a loud popping, a loud bang, or glass breaking, as the descriptions we pick up from every neighbor that lived in that street and the 3 to 4 streets, both behind it, front it, and on the sides. They then hear, right after the glass break, a female scream. Neighbors all flip on their lights, because back in '89, that's what you would do, is you kind of looked around. You didn't jump right to calling 911 or your local police. You did an investigation your kind of yourself.
But police weren't called until the next morning, when the rest of Helen's family, including her then 19-year-old daughter Maribeth, came down from Connecticut for the funeral.
I remember walking in and finding them. I remember, arriving at the house and not being able to get in, knocking on the door, and my father asking my brother to go around the back.
And what he found was gruesome.
I saw them. I remember seeing my mother. She was sitting in a chair up against the wall, and she had been beaten in the head. So I do recall seeing that, and that was, very quickly my father got us out of the house.
Ann and Helen were beaten to death. The lights inside still on. Glass was shattered at the foot of the back door.
Miss Ann, who was 83 years old, was found right inside the door on the ground, hit several times in the head. We're not sure what the weapon is. Weapon was not left on the scene.
Aberdeen police were the first to respond, but Hartford County Sheriff's investigators were quickly on scene and determined nothing was taken. What's worse, not a drop of DNA from the killer was left behind.
My mom was the sweetest, nicest woman ever. She, was an artist and worked with young kids and daycares, and so it's just hard to fathom how somebody could come in, one or maybe more than one person, and do something like that.
For Maribeth, who now lives in Ohio, tracking down who killed her mother and grandmother the day before her grandfather's funeral has been a search she says she's taken on at times alone. And it's a mystery puzzling the sheriff's office, who've been using that memorable night in October 1989 to track down her killer.
So the person coming, did they come to kill Ann, and then unluckily Helen was there? Possibly. I mean, there's literally no answer on why it happened. There's no suspects that we have in mind currently.
With another Maryland mystery in Aberdeen, I'm Skylar Henry, WMAR 2 News.
Hartford County Sheriff's deputies have reached out to neighbors for blocks around that home, and at this point they say they haven't been able to pinpoint any person of interest. If you know anything about this, call the Hartford County Sheriff's Office at 410-838-6600. And to check out some of the other cases in need of closure, visit WMAR2news.com/Maryland Mysteries.